Chapter 18 Preparations. The camp was alive with movement as dawn broke over the forest. Wolves shifted between their human and animal forms, carrying supplies, sharpening weapons, and whispering quiet prayers to the moon. Ava stood near the edge of the camp, the tome in her hands glowing faintly in the early light. Its glyphs pulsed with a rhythm that seemed to echo the energy of the gathering forces around her. Xander approached, his golden eyes scanning the activity with a protective intensity. The scouts have reported back. The darkness is massing near the Silver Den, just as we feared. It'll be an all-out assault. Ava nodded, her grip on the tome tightening. "We're ready," she said, though her voice betrayed the nervous energy buzzing through her. "At least, we have to be." Xander placed a hand on her shoulder, his touch grounding. "We'll face it together. Remember that." As the day progressed, Ava worked with Elder Morella and Seth to finalize their strategy. The tome had revealed more of its secrets overnight, its glyphs shifting to show fragments of ancient battles and rituals. Ava struggled to interpret their meaning, but Morella's sharp mind and Seth's knowledge of the Guardian's Oath filled in the gaps. "The light of the silver wolf must focus the ritual," Morella explained, tracing the runes etched into the tome's pages. "It will act as a beacon to repel the darkness, but the ritual requires more than power. It demands balance." "Balance between what?" Ava asked, her brow furrowed. Seth's gaze was steady. "Between strength and sacrifice, between light and shadow. The darkness isn't just an enemy, it's part of the realm's cycle. To destroy it completely would upset that balance." Ava's heart sank. "So we're not just fighting it, we're trying to contain it." Morella nodded. "The Silver Wolf's power can seal the darkness, but only temporarily. That's why the Guardian's Oath exists, to ensure the balance is maintained." Ava looked at Seth, her stomach churning. His expression was calm, but she saw the weight of the prophecy in his eyes, the knowledge of what might be required. As night fell, the camp gathered in the clearing for one final meeting. The wolves formed a loose circle around Ava, Xander, Morella, and Seth. Lucas stood at the edge of the group, his usual humor replaced by a rare seriousness. Xander stepped forward, his voice strong and steady. "You all know what's at stake. The darkness isn't just a threat to one pack or one territory. It's a threat to all of us. If we don't stand together, we won't stand at all." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Morella stepped forward next, her silver-streaked hair catching the torchlight. "We'll divide into 3 groups. The first will hold the line at the forest's edge, protecting our rear and tending to the wounded. The second will flank the darkness, drawing its forces away from the den. The third group, led by Ava, will take the fight directly to the heart of the corruption." Ava's breath caught, but she nodded. The weight of responsibility was heavy, but she knew she couldn't shy away from it. She looked at the gathered wolves, their faces a mix of determination and fear. "I know I'm asking a lot of all of you," she said, her voice carrying across the clearing. "But this isn't just my fight, it's ours. I don't know what's waiting for us out there, but I know we're stronger together. Whatever happens, we face it as one." The wolves howled in unison, a sound that sent a shiver down Ava's spine. It was a cry of unity, of defiance, of hope. For the first time, she felt a flicker of confidence that they might just stand a chance. As the wolves prepared for battle, Ava stood alone at the edge of the camp, the tome cradled in her arms. The glyphs glowed softly, their light casting faint patterns on her face. She closed her eyes, letting the whispers guide her as she focused on the power within. A vision took shape in her mind, a wolf cloaked in silver light, standing against a tide of shadows. Around it were others, a pack of wolves, their strength united with its power. Together they pushed back the darkness, their light cutting through the void like a blade. When she opened her eyes, she found Seth standing beside her. "What did you see?" he asked, his voice quiet. "A chance," Ava said, her voice steady. "But only if we trust each other, only if we fight together." Seth nodded, his gaze unwavering. Then let's make it count.